Hi guys, Buddy Guy Landman. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today about when you're going out in the field. I've got about 120 names on my list, which I have gotten all this information gathered up through the multiple listing service, through Accurate, which is LexisNexis, and there's various other software programs out there to get all of your spreadsheets in order so that you can boil them down to a mail merge with what I use Road Warrior. There's several to choose from, but to be the most effective out in the field, you can't run from one address and all the way across town to the next address and then come back and realize that you've missed a door right next to it. It's the whole reason that you use Road Warrior. Road Warrior is like the mail system, like the mailman. They have a specific route, so you're not wasting any drive time at all. You go from one address to the next address. And what that looks like is, today we're going to go over some technology and talk a little bit about being as effective as you can out in the field. So I've got Road Warrior here, and on Road Warrior I've got several choices of the drive maps that I've got, but basically it's a GIS program that has everybody's addresses in it. So I'm going to go back here to my routes, which I've got 9 of them, and I'm going to open up my first route. This is how you can be extremely effective out in the field. So down here we're just going to activate it, and what this does is this pulls up from the point where I'm landing. This pulls up the point from where I'm landing, and you can tilt the earth and blow in on it or whatever you want, but this is the zoomed out how my route's going to go. My plane is going to land here. I'm currently located here. Once I land, I'm going to check in, and the first place that I'm going to be, I've got all of my addresses lined up nice and easy. The satellite tracks me and it tells me as I get there, and as I get there I can click on these and I can make notes. That's an important thing to do. So as I drive these roads closest to the furthest, I'll keep making my way down until I get to my second destination. And as you move further down, your next ones come into play. Then you get down into your areas. Most of your travel routes won't be this, but I'm going to be gone for 5 days, so being prepared is key. So enough about that. It's Road Warrior, and what you do is you're going to mail merge that onto your. It's not free. Everything costs in this business, but you're going to be able to go from one door to the next door without missing the second one. What I'm talking about is hitting this door in the same zip code, and then hitting this door and having to come back to this door, and then going over here to this door and realizing you missed that door. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure you just go with the flow. You want to just go to it till you get to your very last drive, which is out there. For me, this is the entire Kenai Peninsula, and these landowners are scattered out everywhere. So again, that's your Excel spreadsheet loaded into their Excel spreadsheet that they provide for you, and you get your addresses. Now, some of the stuff that you're going to need, you're going to need your iPad for your driving. I like to have a little bit bigger screen, but you're going to run into some situations where you're going to absolutely have to have a satellite linked to something. This is a newer Garmin. You can download maps to it and do that, but this also is going with me. The Garmin's important. You can put in the next address if you're having trouble finding it. If you pull up and it's just a dirt lot or something's wrong with it, make sure you've got all of your cords and everything with it. Now, what I was talking about in one of my previous videos was technology making it difficult to find people, and this is a prime example of that. This is a Straight Talk phone from Walmart. Anybody can get this. I walked in and bought this phone. It was $65. I bought a $45 card, And the reason that I bought this phone was so that I would have a backup, because it runs on the same SIM card as my iPhone 6 that I carry. So this thing right here is one of the problems why you can't find your people, because they just don't have recorded numbers. So I keep this phone, and I have separate bags for electronics that I carry out there, because you certainly don't want anything getting destroyed or broken on the way out there. Also, I carry a 5S that is ready to go. I have a fresh Straight Talk card in there, and this is charged, ready to go. All my contacts, everything are in there in case anything happens to my primary. My primary phone is here. But this phone, all I got to do is scratch off a card and call it and type the PIN number into this phone, and presto, I've got a local phone number. So if you're not reaching them on your out-of-state phone number, out-of-town phone number, you can get a local phone number by simply getting a Straight Talk phone. You don't have to carry this heavy of equipment, but I prefer it because you can do a lot on it. I mean, they're miniature computers. This being my primary phone, this one's always out and on me. I'll only bring out those other ones if I'm having issues or not going to reach my goal of hitting every single one of these doors that I just showed you on my drive-by software. Whenever you go, you want to make sure that you have something like this. This is a 4-day battery pack. Don't depend on electricity, and don't depend on internet once you're out in the field. I work off the Google Drive, and everything that I can possibly use on the computers to make my life easier, and also to get as much information over to my boss. This is an Insignia. It charges up to 3 devices at once, and I've kept my iPhone charged on it for 2 weeks if you just use one port. 3 of them, you're going to last about 4 days on this battery pack. That goes in the electronics bag as well. When you're back at the hotel, especially if you've had a rough day, it's always a good idea to have a laptop with you. My laptop is already loaded with all the information from the Google Drive, and it's ready to go. I put that right in there along with its charge cord. You don't want to get out there and not have your cords. Get your cords, lay it out like this in 2 separate piles, everything that you're going to need. My wall charger, car chargers. You've got a jump drive with all of your information on it. You have your window mounts because you want to be as hands-free as possible. So again, you're going to pack that into right where you can find it. And this is new. This is the new jump drive that has, this hooks into your computer. You can transfer all your files to that, maps, everything that, your spreadsheets, all that, and then you can simply plug it into your iPad. I prefer to use my iPad when I'm on the road. It's easier than fumbling around with a laptop computer. So I put that in with my laptop, and make sure you have your wall charger so you can stay charged up at night. And pens, can't stress enough. You're going to lose pens. You're going to end up without one. The worst thing to do is show up at somebody's house without an ink pen. So keep that in there too. You want to make sure that you have some scratch pads. You want to keep as many notes as you can. No matter how small or how big they are, you want to make sure you have notes. Also, when I go out in the field, I usually carry with me an exhibit. I explain to them the new technology that's out there, how the drilling works. I tell them about the casing, the people that are concerned with their water, the concrete, the gas compression, the infrastructure, and what's left behind when they're done, the tank batteries. All of this is going to go into your exhibit case that you sign your leases on. Another thing is, I'm going out to hit 80 doors. I have 100 cards. I don't want to come back after this trip without burning 100 cards. And these are, as you know in some of my previous videos, I've talked about them. These are plastic. They're great door stuffers. But the main thing is I want to show you why they're plastic real quick. Because assume that you're going to miss people when you're out in the field. You want to have some "Sorry I Missed You" flyers. And these plastic cards come in real handy because you don't want to throw trash on people's doors. So when you go up to the door and you knock on it, nobody comes to the door, take your flyer that's "Sorry I Missed You" and just give it a quick crease. Once you crease it like that, you take your plastic card and it acts like a wedge. Put it in here, and just stuff it in the door, into the crack. So when they get home, they see the Hilcorp Alaska or your oil field company here, and also your business card is tucked in there and a short explanation why you were on the property today. And not to forget your leases. Get your leases together, get everything in there, get the W-9s, get them all put together and ready to go, especially if you're going out. It's unfortunate, but sometimes you have to get out there and you have to handwrite these leases. So what I do is I get all of this together in an easy way for me to find everything that I need, so I'm not fumbling through my electronics, fumbling through my bags trying to find it. I always keep some cards on me. Keep your current leasehold, what's leased, what's not. Sorry, I can't let you see that too much. But I also have from that jump drive that I showed you earlier, I've uploaded all of my maps digitally so I can zoom in and show the lessors what's leased around them and explain that they could possibly miss out. So, with everything done, you also need to carry a little bit of tape on you, because you don't want to tape on people's property, but you're going to come up on some shut gates. So what I've done is on the back here is I've put my mineral lease, which is my website. It takes them into my information. I'll walk up to their pipe that separates me from getting to their door, because walking past the no trespassing sign is one thing, but operating any kind of a lever to open a gate and then walk past the no trespassing sign, to me that's pushing it over the limit. I'm not going to do that. So if you'll wrap this around the pipe and simply put a piece of tape on there, when they get home they're going to see your.com, so they can see who you were, and they're going to get the message that you missed them. Anyway, that's just what it takes to get out in the field and be successful. You do need these tools. If you're just starting out, it does cost a little bit to kind of get started, but what I've gone over here is important if you want to make contact, because if you don't make contact, you're not going to get the deal. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching.